In a world full of constant motion, noise, and distraction, many of us have forgotten how to simply be. We scroll. We rush. We multitask. Our minds are full, but our hearts are tired. That's why mindfulness isn't just a practice. It's a way back to ourselves. Especially for those who walk the path of the Buddha. Mindfulness is not just about sitting quietly in meditation. It's about how we walk, how we breathe, how we drink a cup of tea or speak a kind word or pause before we react. The Buddha didn't teach mindfulness as an escape. He taught it as a way to return to this breath, this body, this moment. When we walk mindfully, we are not walking to get somewhere. We are walking to arrive in the here and now. When we eat mindfully, it's not about the taste. It's about recognizing that this food, this moment, this life, is a miracle. But we forget. And that's okay. The world is fast. But we can choose to be slow. The world is loud. But we can choose to listen deeply. The world pulls us outward. But we can return inward, with just one mindful breath. In this video, I want to invite you back to the roots. Not of theory or belief, but of gentle, mindful living. We'll share 3 simple reminders. Not rules. Not techniques. Just reminders. Like soft lanterns you can carry through your day. Reminders to pause. To breathe. To come home to yourself, again and again. Because every step can be sacred. Every word can be conscious. Every moment can be enough. Let these mindfulness reminders guide your steps. Let them bring you back to this breath. To this life. To this now. You don't need anything more. Just you, and this moment. Reminder number 1, breathe before you respond. In today's fast-moving world, everything demands a reaction. A beep from your phone. A sharp word from a stranger. A memory that suddenly comes up. Even your own thoughts, racing in the middle of the night. But in Buddhism, we are reminded again and again. You don't have to react to everything. You can pause. You can breathe. And in that breath, you can change your karma. The Buddha once said, "Speak only when your words are more beautiful than silence." This is not just about being polite. It's about recognizing the power of space. And the peace that comes when we don't rush to fill it. The power of one breath. We often underestimate just how powerful a single breath can be. When we're triggered by anger, fear, shame, hurt, our body enters survival mode. The breath shortens. The heart races. The mind tightens. And from that place, we say things we regret. We act from ego, not wisdom. We push people away when what we really need is connection. But here's the truth. You are not your first reaction. You are the space between the trigger and the response. That space is where freedom lives. And that space begins with one breath. A story from the monastery. There was once a monk who was known far and wide for his calm presence. He never raised his voice. Never reacted in anger. Never rushed to speak. One day, a visitor came to the monastery, angry, loud, disrespectful. He accused the monk of being fake, of wasting time, of hiding from the real world. But the monk only smiled. He bowed gently and said, "Thank you. You've reminded me to breathe." The visitor was stunned. There was no argument. No defense. No ego. Only breath. Only presence. That single breath diffused a storm. How you can practice this today. Try this simple practice. When someone says something that stirs emotion in you, whether it's a criticism, a complaint, or just a careless comment, stop. Inhale. Exhale. Then respond. If a response is still needed. Sometimes you'll find that silence is more healing than any words. Other times, your words will come softer, clearer, more rooted in compassion. Let's try it together now. Close your eyes. Relax your shoulders. Let your hands rest gently. And follow this rhythm with me. Inhale. 2, 3, 4. Hold. 2, 3, 4. Exhale. 2, 3, 4. Pause. Again, just once more. Inhale. Hold. Exhale. Now open your eyes. Do you feel just a little more spacious? That's the beginning of mindfulness. This is not suppression, it's spaciousness. Some people misunderstand mindfulness. They think it means pushing down feelings, pretending not to be angry, putting on a spiritual smile while the storm rages inside. But that's not what the Buddha taught. He taught awareness, not avoidance. He taught us to turn toward our emotions, with gentleness and understanding. To give them space, not control. Mindfulness isn't suppression, as Thich Nhat Hanh said. It's spaciousness. It is the space to feel, without being ruled. It is the space to observe, without being swept away. It is the space to choose peace. Counterclockwise arrows button. Every breath is a new beginning. You may forget. You may react. You may say something and then feel regret. That's okay. The breath is always waiting. The present moment always welcomes you back. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to remember. To breathe before you respond. Practical tip for daily life. Set a mindfulness bell on your phone every 2 to 3 hours. When it rings, simply pause and take one deep breath. No mantra, no judgment. Just one breath. That breath might come before a meeting, before a conversation, before an impulse to scroll or shout or react. That breath might save you from suffering. That breath might change your day. A final word. As Buddhists, or simply as human beings, we are not called to live perfect lives. We are called to live aware lives. One mindful breath before we speak can shift the energy of a conversation. One mindful breath before we react can break a generational habit. One mindful breath can be the bridge from unconsciousness to compassion. So next time someone triggers you, before you reply, before you defend, before you snap, breathe. Then choose. Let your words be more beautiful than silence. Reminder number 2, walk like you are kissing the earth. There's something sacred about walking. Not the kind of walking we do when we're rushing to catch a bus, or pacing through the grocery store, but the kind of walking where each step feels like a prayer. This is what Thich Nhat Hanh meant when he said, "Walk as if you are kissing the earth with your feet." It sounds poetic, but it's more than poetry. It's a spiritual practice, one that can change how we move through life. The art of mindful walking. Most of us walk automatically. We move from place to place, caught in thought. Our feet go forward, but our minds stay behind, or rush ahead. Mindful walking invites us back. It says, "You are here. This foot. This ground. This moment. You don't need to walk faster. You don't need to walk with purpose. You only need to walk with presence." Why it matters. When we walk with awareness, we reconnect with the earth. We remember that we are not separate from nature. We remember that every blade of grass beneath our foot is alive. And we remember that we are alive, too. In Buddhism, we call this returning to the body. It's a core part of mindfulness. To come home to this body. This breath. This ground. You may think, "But I live in a small apartment." Or, "I don't have a garden or a forest nearby." That's okay. You can walk mindfully in your hallway. You can walk slowly from your bedroom to your kitchen. Even 5 quiet steps, taken with full awareness, can bring you more peace than a 2-mile walk in distraction. A story from the Sangha. A student once asked Master, "Can walking be a form of prayer?" And he gently replied, "It already is, if you walk with awareness." There was a nun in Plum Village who was once healing from grief. Every morning, she would walk the same 100 steps, back and forth in silence. Left foot, left, right. Some days she cried. Some days she smiled. But through those steps, she returned to herself. She didn't walk to forget. She walked to remember. Walking is coming home. In the modern world, we're always on the way. On the way to work. On the way to our goals. Even when we walk for exercise, we often track steps, time, calories. But in mindful walking, there is no destination. You are not walking to get somewhere. You are walking to come home. To come home to your body. To your breath. To the earth beneath you. To the miracle of being alive. Practice with me now. Let's try a simple mindful walking meditation. Stand tall. Let your arms relax. Feel your feet touching the ground. Now take a step with your left foot as you slowly inhale. Then a step with your right foot as you exhale. Inhale, step left. Exhale, step right. In, out. Step, step. No rush. No goal. Just this step. Imagine the earth smiling beneath your foot. Feel her support. Her softness. Her invitation. You are not stepping on the earth. You are kissing it. Everyday practice. Here's how you can bring this into your daily life. Morning routine, walk from your bed to your bathroom mindfully. No phone. No rush. Waiting time, waiting for the kettle to boil. Walk slowly across the room. Feel your feet. Before meals, take 5 mindful steps before you eat, to ground yourself in gratitude. Evening reset, walk barefoot on grass, if possible. Let the earth hold your day. These aren't extra practices. They're ways of transforming the ordinary into the sacred. Why it works. When you walk slowly, your breathing slows. Your nervous system calms. Your thoughts begin to settle. You return from your head into your body. From worry into awareness. From somewhere else into here. Walking is not escaping. Some people think, I don't have time to walk slowly, life is too busy. But here's a truth from the Buddhist path. The slower you go, the deeper you arrive. And the more present you are, the more time expands. You're not wasting time. You're returning to it. A final thought. Every step we take can either deepen our suffering, or deepen our peace. The earth is not asking for anything. She only invites us to return. And with each mindful step, we not only heal ourselves, we help heal the earth. Walk like you are kissing the earth. Walk like each step matters. Walk like peace is possible, right now. Because it is. Reminder number 3, treat this moment as if it's sacred. This moment will never come again. How often do we truly realize that? Not in our head, but in our bones. Not as a thought, but as a knowing. The cup of tea you are holding. The person you are sitting next to. The sound of the birds, or the hum of traffic, or your own breath. All of it is sacred. But most of us miss it. Not because we're bad people. Not because we're too busy. But simply because we're not fully here. We live in a world obsessed with what's next. The next task. The next message. The next goal. The next dopamine hit. And in that chase, we run past the very life we're trying to find. The Buddha's quiet wisdom. In the sutras, it's recorded that the Buddha often paused before speaking. Those around him noted this, not with impatience, but with reverence. Because in that pause, there was presence. And in presence, there is true teaching. You see, the Buddha didn't just teach through words. He taught through how he moved. How he sat. How he looked at someone with full attention. As if nothing else existed but that soul before him. That is sacred presence. A story from the village. There was once a layperson who came to a Zen master with deep questions. Master, what is the highest form of practice? He expected a long teaching, a quote, a technique. The master smiled and said, When I eat, I eat. When I walk, I walk. When I wash the bowl, I wash the bowl. The man was confused. That's it? He asked. The master replied, Yes. But when you eat, you think of work. When you walk, you look at your phone. And when you wash the bowl, your mind is somewhere else. So you miss your life, moment by moment. Sacredness is not in the ritual, it's in the attention. You don't need incense. You don't need a cushion. You don't need mantras, chants, or robes to live spiritually. You only need presence. To really feel the warmth of your tea. To truly listen to the person in front of you. To hear the sound of water as you wash a plate. To notice your own breath as it enters and leaves. Everyday life is not separate from the spiritual path. It is the path. Try this, the sacred bell practice. Set a gentle bell to ring on your phone every 2 hours. When it rings, don't dismiss it. Don't swipe it away. Instead, stop. Breathe. Smile. And whisper quietly to yourself. This moment is sacred. Not because it's perfect, but because it's real. And you are here for it. Washing the dishes as meditation. Think about how you usually wash dishes. In a rush. Mind thinking of other things. Hands moving, but heart elsewhere. Now imagine. You stand at the sink. Warm water flows over your hands. The dish is smooth, light. You breathe with each motion. And suddenly, washing the dishes becomes a mindfulness bell. A reminder that even this is worthy of your full attention. Listening like a blessing. We live in a world where everyone is talking, but very few are listening. True listening, with presence, is one of the rarest gifts you can give. Next time a friend, or a child, or a stranger is speaking to you, try to be fully there. Not planning what you'll say next. Not checking your phone. Just listening. As if every word matters. Because it does. And that, too, is sacred. The power of presence. What makes something sacred is not what it is. It's how we meet it. A flower is just a flower, until we stop to admire it. A breath is just air, until we follow it in and out with awareness. A moment is just a flicker, until we bow to it and say, "You are enough." A final whisper. In this very moment, as you hear these words, can you feel your breath? Can you sense your body? Can you smile, just slightly, for no reason at all? If so, you are here. And here is holy. You don't need to be in a temple to live mindfully. You just need to remember. This moment is not small. It's not in between the important parts of your life. It is your life. So wash the bowl. Tie your shoes. Sip your tea. Hold someone's hand. Do it slowly. Do it kindly. Do it as if it were the last time. Because one day, it will be. Conclusion. Mindfulness is not something we add to our life. It's what happens when we come back to life. Back to this breath. Back to this body. Back to the now, where everything truly happens. These 3 reminders are not techniques to master. They are gentle invitations. Whispers from within, asking us to slow down. To feel. To listen. To be. Breathe before you respond, because not every reaction needs to become reality. Walk like you are kissing the earth, because every step is a chance to arrive. Treat this moment as sacred, because it will never come again. You don't need to change your life. You just need to be more present in the one you already have. And if this video brought you a moment of calm, a pause, a breath, then we invite you to walk this path with us. This channel, Life Lessons, is a quiet space. A space for reflection. For simplicity. For Buddhist wisdom made gentle and real. We share new content every week. Not to give you more to do, but to help you remember what really matters. So if you're ready to live more mindfully, one breath, one step, one sacred moment at a time, we welcome you.